Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. I just got done watching Escape Room, and Escape Room basically follows 6 strangers. Now these 6 strangers are invited to partake in an escape room. It's basically a fun little room where you're trapped in it for an hour or so. You have to figure out your way out through riddles, clues, tons of fun. But this movie decides to go to the extreme and make it sort of like a Saw movie. In here, they'll face deadly consequences, having limited amounts of time in several different rooms, trying to escape so they can win a grand prize by the end of their room. So with going into Escape Room, I have to say, I knew it probably wasn't going to be great, but I am just such an easy fan of movies like this, where you're trapped in a room, someone's torturing you, there's a mastermind behind it, there's clues, there's a mystery, and with a movie like this, you know you gotta have those last 5 minutes with intense music and a revelation that's gonna blow your mind. Was it that? No, not really, but I can already tell this is going to be my guilty pleasure for 2019. So let me go into some of the positives of this movie. For one, I think they got a pretty roundabout cast here. I mean, Deborah Ann Woll, who's most notably known as playing Karen Page in the Daredevil series. You also have Tyler Labine, who's most notably known for being in Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which I love that. That's a great horror comedy. Check that one out. And you have up-and-coming Nick Dondy, who's most notably known from this Wendy's commercial.
Wendy's new jalapeno fresco spicy chicken is so deliciously hot, it's generating reactions from everyone, like the memer.
Ooh, eat spicy goodness like a boss.
Just some classically trained actors in this movie. But I mean, it's as stereotypical as you can get when you set up this movie. It's just you have all these different people. Do they have a connection? How are they going to survive? Who's setting all this up and why? Honestly, I love that journey. Even though it's dumb, it's cheesy, it's been overdone, because even in 2017 alone, you had 2 movies titled Escape Room. Both went straight to DVD. Both were horrible. But the added bonus of this one, why maybe you should give it a chance, it's the production value. It's because I think they built some wonderful sets in this movie. Each room is actually very interesting. Now, I was kind of skeptical because when looking at the trailer, you get a sort of cabin in the woods vibe that this is a highly advanced technological base. And when you get down to it in the movie, everything seems pretty realistic, like maybe this can be done. It's not as high-tech or crazy out there as you might have thought. Every room they go into, I do get some suspense. I grow to like some of these characters. I love trying to figure out what's going on, what's the clue, what's the connection. Acting is subpar, it's average, but I think it's enough to pass through the line. And when you get to the eventual point of losing a character here and there, I actually cared for the people that we were losing. I thought we were definitely gonna have annoying characters like the one I mentioned from the Wendy's commercial, but no, he was actually pretty fine in the movie. It's a January release, it's a cheesy setup, it's something that I'm surprised hasn't been done before on the big screen. But the great takeaways of this movie, that it's short and sweet, it doesn't take its time with really delving into everything, the clues and mystery is good enough, the rooms are the best thing in this movie, and trying to figure out and solve the puzzle along with these characters, it's just fun. And if you're a horror fan, I think you'll get a kick out of this movie. But let's get into the negatives of why it's really a January release and not that great of a movie. There is a point in this movie where I'm watching it, I'm about maybe 30-40 minutes in, and I'm like, damn, I really like this movie. Why is this not getting a bigger marketing push? Why is this not really being thrown out there to the general audience? And then you hit a very specific point in the movie, and it just dives fast. Because really, I will say half of this movie is excellent, and it was on pace to being a really solid film. But I am not joking when there is a serious point where this film just really starts to dip in quality, and it's when you reveal of why this is going on, who's doing it, and everyone's connection in the movie. It really just doesn't live up to everything that they were setting up, the fun that you were having with these rooms. Because I will say, there is an obvious point, an extremely obvious point to anybody, a casual movie fan can understand this. When watching the movie of when it should have ended, there was a perfect scene where the movie should have just stopped, and it was like, okay, it kind of dived a little at the end, but it was good enough. But the movie goes on for like another 10-15 minutes, and it feels like the longest post-credit scene that they included into the movie. It feels like you're almost watching the beginning of the second movie if they're planning to do that. It gets really cheesy, really dumb, gives me the vibe of a home video movie, and a great reason why this film is not going to be as well regarded as I hoped it was gonna be. Alright, so for Escape Room, I'm gonna give action 2.5 stars. I do think there is plenty going on in this, especially with the rooms and all the little trinkets and stuff going on in there that really make it fun to watch. Comedy in the film, I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars as well. I do think the comedy was pretty well done in the film. There were general moments that made me laugh that I think the audience will enjoy in this movie. Drama in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. It had me really hooked in for the first half, but it dives so badly just towards the end. Horror in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars as well, because come on, let's all admit it, if we're trapped in a room that can be turned into an oven, an icicle, or just some of the other crazy things that go on in here, we'd all be frightened. And suspense the film, I am actually gonna give 3 stars because regardless or not, if they didn't stick the landing, I think the suspense was really well done throughout this movie. They made you care enough about these characters where you worried if they were gonna live or not. Casual fans, I'm gonna give it a B-. Cinephiles, I'm gonna give it a B-. And critically, I'm going to give it an F. For Escape Room, being that I'm a horror fan and that it had me at the first half by the slightest margin, I suggest you watch this in theaters. I think you're still going to get your money's worth watching the rooms and the excitement of what's going on, but just I'm telling you, when that final act hits, I warned you, I'm sorry, but I still think it was worth the ride. Let me know what you thought about the movie if you got around to see it. That is just my personal opinion. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review, but as always, I'm Chris. Take care.